stupid for putting you in slavery. But these people won't say it to us now because they're still in rulership. They still think, oh, we're the top of the top. We're the best people. When you're not the best people, you're the people that just steals people's inventions and lies. That's what you do. And then you have a little bit of money with your oppressors, with your face on it, and then you think you're good.
Wake them up.
That's right.
You're the precept.
Jeremiah 1 verse 17. Thou therefore gird up your loins and rise and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed, and their faces, lest I confound thee before them.
So we can't be afraid of these people. There could be 6, 7, 8 of them. But what did God say? Get me Psalms chapter 2 and read from verse 1 and read all the way down.
Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together.
So, the kings of the earth right now, Joe Biden, what's his next? Starmer, Macron, Kim Jong-un,
That's it.
Xi Jinping, all these people, Duke Charles. These people are stupid as hell, but anyway, read on.
And the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
So we are the biggest threat to these people, you know.
That's right. That's right.
If the so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans came back in unity, see how quick this place would be flattened. Because we are the biggest, they fear us the most. So they had to come up with a coalition in order to make us feel like we're nothing, to make us have black and black violence, Hispanic and Hispanic violence. Read the precept and then I'm coming back.
Psalms 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So they have taken crafty counsel against us and consulted against the hidden ones. Because that's what they do. That's why they have Cobra meetings. That's why they have number of meetings in the House of Commons and all of that. So that they can find new inventions and new ways of how to make us feel stupid. How to keep us in a dumb state of mind.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So they said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, so that the name of Israel can no more be in remembrance. Get me Psalm 137. Because that's what they did in slavery. Read on.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Sister.
So they came with one consent, and they are confederate against thee. So don't think these people are your friends. These people ain't your friend. These people will watch you die, basically, and they wouldn't shed a tear. That's why I don't have no... Anyway, read on.
The tabernacles of Edom.
What? The tabernacles of who?
The tabernacles of Edom.
So the so-called white man. Read on.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites, Arab man.
Of Moab.
Moab, Chinese boy.
The Hagarenes.
So-called African.
Right.
Gibal and Ammon.
Ammon, Japanese man. Gibal, another set of so-called Africans.
And Amalek.
And Amalek. Amalek is the most wicked one. He's the Rockefeller. He's the Rothschild. He's the all these people. He's the Jewish man.
That's right.
He wishes he was us.
Right.
But he is never going to be us.
That's right.
The Philistines and the inhabitants
why the Philistines can't rise. They're just another set of Hamites. And Tyre is another set of Hamites too. So all these nations came with one consent. The Hamites sold us into slavery, but our people are so stupid and think that black people sold black people into slavery. No, it was Hamites that sold us into slavery.
That's right.
And to the so-called white man, and the white man took us and shipped us to the Caribbean, to America, to South America, to Puerto Rico, to the island that's in Cape Verde. Bring out your precept. Right, you got a precept. Yeah. Bring out the precept.
This is the book of Leviticus 26 and verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
So that's what God's gonna give us in when the time is right. He's gonna make 5 chase 100. 5 of us chase 100 of these heathen, and 100 of us put 10,000 of them to flight. All dead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
So Esau, get ready for slavery. Because you're going into slavery just like we did, and you're going to get it harsher than we did. Or you did to us, except no butt breaking, because that's some disgusting thing that you invented. Bring out your precept.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 3. And they have cast lot for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine.
See, so this is the things that they created. A boy for a harlot. That means, anyway, a lot of the audience will know what it means. So I'm not even going to go into it, because it's too nasty to talk on the camera. But they sold a boy for a harlot and a girl for wine. A woman for wine. Read on.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will
See, so these people, Tyre, Zidon, and the Palestinian people, that's why Gaza's getting bombed up now.
That's right.
And we don't shed a tear,
God.
because they were the ones that sold us into slavery too. They had a part to play in our captivity.
That's right.
So don't feel sorry for them. Of course, sometimes, because we're compassionate people, we might feel, you hear men, women and children are getting killed off, you might feel a bit sorry for them. But you can't feel like, oh, I'm going to go over there and provide aid for them. That's silly, after they put us in slavery. Any more on that?
Amos 1 and 6. Thus says the Lord, for 3 transgression of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom.
See, so for 3 and 4 transgressions of Gaza, he's not going to turn the punishment away from them. That's why they're getting bombed up.
That's right.
Frankly, read on.
And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon, and I will turn mine hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistine shall perish. Thus says the Lord.
So these people are going to perish because they sold us into slavery. We are the apple of the Lord's eye, and once you touch the Lord's children, you're bound to get put to death.
This is the book of Job 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Where's the wicked there? Because there's many that walk up and down and our people don't know who the wicked are. They think the wicked is Satan. They think the wicked is the devil. But the devil means deceiver. Aye. Esau boy. Anyway, you'll soon learn his name. But these people are the wicked of the earth. And if not, where and who is he? You can identify who they are. Because they're the ones that are going around the globe raping people and killing people at free will. And they're providing $9.1 billion of weaponry to Israel and to Ukraine. But they can't abolish homelessness in their homeland. What kind of stupidness is that? It takes 18 billion to abolish homelessness in America. And you're providing 18 billion worth of weaponry to these nations. But that's your way of life anyway. Your way of life is you were brought up by the sword. Get me Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. But before that, read Psalms 137 for me, please.
This is Psalm chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, for there they carried us away captive.
So this nation carried us away captive. And when we sit down, we wept because we didn't see our homeland again. That's what happened in Deuteronomy chapter 28. We couldn't see our homeland again.
Right.
Till today.
Required of us a song.
So they were saying, come here. Sister, get me Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. And get me 1 Peter 2 and 9. And Jeremiah. Right. Sister, the scriptures for you, yeah?
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
So God says that I've likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Comely means beautiful and delicate woman. Do you know who the daughter of Zion is? The daughter of Zion would be you. They consist of the blacks, Hispanics and Native American women. But only those women. And we're going to prove that in the Bible. Because did you know that slavery is in the Bible? Can I show you that slavery is actually written in the Bible? Get me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and start from 1.
Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if we, in other words, what is that saying is if we listen unto the voice of God and follow his commandments, we're going to be put on high above all nations. Just like how you see there's one nation that controls everything right now. That was supposed to be us. But we're going to prove it to you. Don't take my word for it.
Which one? Now jump down. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if we don't listen unto the voice of the Lord and we don't follow after his commandments, what's going to happen?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all of these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. And we're going to read some of the curses for you. And I want to see if you can match it onto a set of people.
Which one you want to keep? Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Alright, I'm going to give you some examples, right? What nation of people, what set of people is cursed in the city? When I mean cursed in the city, I mean police brutality, I mean security guards following you around the whole shop, saying that you ain't gonna buy nothing. Living in the ghettos, people calling you all kinds of names. What nation of people does that link up to? Okay, read on, because I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to listen to what God said.
17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of the land.
So it says cursed is going to be the fruit of the body, and the fruit of the body for the woman is children. So our children are going to be cursed in their mannerisms, because earlier on I just saw one of our people push his own sister into the street. So cursed in our mannerisms, and also cursed that we didn't know who we are. Like he said, you called yourself black or black people, when God didn't call us black people. Black is a shade, black is just another color. But read on. Jump to 46.
46. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Because we didn't serve God with happiness and for the abundance of all things, these things are now going to be upon us for a sign. You see JD Sports, that's a sign. So God says that these curses are going to be upon us for a sign and for a wonder. Read on.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Now we're going to serve our friends.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So the Lord said we're going to serve our enemies. Not just one, enemies. That's why, do you work? That's why you have to work a 9 to 5 right now. Because we're serving our enemies. We're under the modern slavery system. And we'll get on to that.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So in hunger, we're going to be serving our enemies. Where do you have to go when you're hungry? Restaurant, supermarket. Thirsty, you have to buy water from the supermarket. Do we own the supermarket? And in want of all things, when we want clothes, you have to go to Nike, JD. In want of all things, bank cards. We don't own. We don't own anything. We are the ones consuming everything. But that's part of the curses. Now jump to the big curse, chapters 20, 28 and 68.
Verse 68?
Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
So we're going to classify what Egypt means. Get me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. So it said in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Now we've got to wrap up what Egypt means.
Exodus 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2, the Lord said, I am the Lord thy God that have brought thee out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Bondage is another word for slavery. So now we're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68 again, and we've classified what Egypt means, but read it again.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord's going to bring us into slavery again in ships. That sounds like who's the only nation of people that got put in slavery in ships? The one and only nation. Our people. People that look like me and you. So this is the curses and who we are. We are the Israelites. We ain't black people. Because I didn't hear, read Deuteronomy 29 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So the Lord is speaking unto the children of Israel. He isn't speaking unto the black people. Because that's who we are, the children of Israel.
Right.
The Israelis in that land, they're fakes.
Right.
They're imposters.
That's right.
And we'll read it to you if we've got time. But we need to give you some commandments before you leave here.
Let me read this precept. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
So we are going to become an astonishment. People are going to be like, hold on, what these people, the ones that were ruling, these people were the best people.
Right.
That's why we can do things better than any nation on the earth.
That's right. Teacher.
We can run the fastest. We can cook the best. We can do so many things better than these other nations. Even in slavery, we invented everything. Like some foods that you see in restaurants, we had to go with in slavery, and they were slave food, but they're selling it in restaurants now. But read me some commandments that God had given to us, because the reason why we went into slavery was because we disobeyed the commandments which God gave to us.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
So God has given us a dietary law. He's saying these are the beasts, so in other words, these are the meats that you can eat that are on the earth. Now jump down to 7.
This is Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed.
So do you know what the swine is? The swine is pig. Do you eat pig? Do you eat pork? We can't eat that. Because do you know pork? You can't eat that as an Israelite, because pork has many diseases and it eats anything. Feed it a dead human, it will eat it. So we can't eat no pig. Pig is disgusting because God says we can't eat it. They can eat it, but we can't.
Yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
So the pork is unclean to us.
Of their flesh ye not eat, and ye shall not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you.
So we can't even touch the pork's dead carcass.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So this is going into the fishes. Whatsoever's in the waters, which has fins and scales, we can eat. Fishes that have fins and scales, but only fishes that have both fins and scales. That's why we can't eat mussels, shrimp, crab, lobster. And they made these things a delicacy when it's not. These things are bottom feeders. Just like how the pig, and like, would you eat a vulture? That's what this is what these fishes are under the sea, like vultures, sea vultures basically. They eat anything. Fish doo-doo, eat it up.
Precept.
Prayer precept. We'll give you some more commandments, yeah?
Isaiah chapter 66 verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. Eating swine's flesh. And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
So if we continue to eat the pork, the be all and end all is that we're going to die. If we're either going to die of the Lord's wrath, being an Israelite, or we're going to die because we're going to get the disease that the pigs got. That's why it's imperative that we can't eat it. But you didn't know, so it's just advice for the future. You see pork in the shop, don't touch it. Don't think about, oh, I'm going to buy that. Even though it might be cheap, don't buy it. We have so many alternatives.
Let me read this precept to go with that.
Chicken, beef, lamb. So just stay away from the pork. And fish that don't have fins and scales, stay away from them. And read Leviticus 11.
Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So every sickness and every plague is going to be brought upon us if we eat these things that the Lord said we can't eat. So we have to stay away from them. We can't eat them because our forefathers died rather than eating pork.
Is another commandment. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5.
Get me Leviticus 19 and verse 17.
Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So, in other words, that's saying we can't hate our brother and our sister in our hearts, in our minds, because that's what we think out of. Christians will say to you, oh, the Lord said in my heart, and they point to this. This isn't anything other than just pumping blood around your body. This is your heart, because that's what you think out of. So, we can't hate our brothers and our sisters in our minds. How you hate your brother and sister is tale-bearing. Do you know what tale-bearing is? Basically, yeah, gossiping, rumours, chatting behind each other's back, rather than saying it to our brothers and sisters' face, saying, oh, I don't like her because of this and that. So we can't hate our brothers in our heart, and we have to rebuke our brothers and sisters that are going off. And we're going to read you what sin is. We're going to read you one more commandment, and then we'll see where the Spirit goes. But do you know what sin is, first of all? No?
What's your explanation?
Okay.
This is the book of 1 John 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is when we transgress God's law. That's when we go into sin, which means we don't follow God's law. We depart away from it. We do things contrary. That's why Christians make people commit sin. They say that certain things shouldn't be going on, but yet they're saying that it's acceptable now because we're living in modern times. They say that we should forgive the people that put us in slavery, and we should demand any reparations from them at all, in some form or another. This is the wickedness that religion has done unto our people, and given us, where is he? Given us Caesar Borgia, because you see, sister, that picture that's shown us Jesus Christ with that long hair, blue eyes, and his hands is like this, and there might be a heart with a cross in. That's not Jesus. That's some guy called Caesar Borgia, and that guy Caesar Borgia had sex with his sister, was a homosexual with Leonardo da Vinci, and also he killed his brother. And that's him. I've already said what's on there anyway. So that's Caesar Borgia. So when you're praying to God, don't think of this man, because that's a lie. We're gonna show you what Jesus actually looked like. Get me Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So, this is Jesus Christ's real depiction. This was a guy, well not a guy, this was Yahawashi, whose name in the Hebrew had a long garment on down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had a big championship belt.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Read it again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Alright, so his head and his hairs were white in colour because of wisdom, but woolly in texture. What nation of people has woolly textured hair? We do. So then what's going on with this? That's horse hair. That's dog hair. It says that Jesus Christ had woolly hair, like me and you. Read on.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
So his eyes was a flame of fire, because the first miracle that Jesus did was turn water into wine. And his feet was like unto fine brass. Do you know what colour brass is, sister? What colour is brass? Brilliant, perfect answer. Read it.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So Jesus, which is what it calls, is a dark-skinned man, dark-skinned brother. Skin dark. Not no white boy, red boy. Nothing like that. Because even though you think, oh, you guys are doing the most by stepping on him, we're not, because, well, we're just trotting down the lies. Because we know that that isn't the real depiction of Christ, and he's a wicked guy. So that's why we hate him so much. That's why we hate the people that put him up so much.
Let me another commandment.
Go on.
Exodus 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So the Sabbath day is today, from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. That's the Sabbath day. And it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Holy means set apart. Make it be set apart from all of the other days. Because remember, what did God do on the 7th day? Exactly. So wouldn't you want his children to rest too? So that's what we have to do, being his children and being obedient to him. We have to rest on the day that he rested. He gave us 6 days to, you know, get your hair done, get work, labor. But on the 7th, he rested, so we have to rest too.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that was in the gates.
So nothing could do any work. This day was a day of rest, which is today. We couldn't go in the market and go buy and sell, because that wasn't lawful.
Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the 7th day and the exaction of every debt.
So Nehemiah was a zealous guy for the Lord, so he wouldn't let anything happen on the Sabbath day. Hold on, we'll talk to you in a minute. And because we're dealing with our sister, we ain't dealing with you right now. Just wait there, and we're coming to you. Or you're gonna run off. Good. But anyway, the Sabbath day is a day where we have to rest. So you can't do your shopping today. We have to just rest and give all glory unto God. We have to precept.
This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 21. Thus said the Lord, take heed of yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring in thy gates of gates of Jerusalem.
So we couldn't do anything on the Sabbath day. We couldn't buy and sell, because the Sabbath day was the day of rest. So we can't buy and sell on the Sabbath day. We're going to give you one more commandment, and what we're trying to say is read your Bible and see who you truly are, because God called you an Israelite and you're a beautiful daughter of Zion.
That's what the Lord think of you. Jeremiah 7 and 6. For thou art a holy. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God chose thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that is upon the face of the earth. I know. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people above himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So God is saying that you are his only son, his only children. You are a special child unto God. How do you feel about that? Makes you feel good, right?
That's right.
Knowing that you ain't just, what, a nigger. You ain't that. You're God's chosen child. God loves you the most out of all people. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. This is the last precept.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So do you know what women wear that men wear nowadays? So we can't, sister, you can't continue to wear the pants, because the pants is for male and the dress is for female. But now you have this going, read up.
Neither shall a man put a woman's garments, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So neither can a man put on a girl's dress. And you see nowadays that bare man them are putting on dress, trying to act like gal. That's so disgusting in the Lord's eyes. An abomination is what the Lord hates. But are you still gonna continue to listen to the words? Because I've got to sign off and let another speaker go up. Alright. But keep the commandments, read, and try and build yourself up in this. And if you want, take sister's number so that you can keep in contact and so that you can build yourself up in this truth.
That's right. That's right.
Well, with that, I'm going to sign off and give it to our next speaker. And I say, Barakatai Hawa, Barakatai Shai, Barakatai Hawa, Barakatai Shai. I am Manuela, Chalawa, Kwame Shai, Kwame Shai.